The family of a Saanich couple found dead in their home last week are speaking out tonight, and they have chosen to share their story with A News. As we first told you, investigators have ruled the deaths of Erich and Kathy Mueller as a murder-suicide. Tonight, their family tells us that there are two victims, and they hope that by talking about their story of living with mental illness, it may help others. A News reporter Stephen Andrews sat down with them for an exclusive interview, and he joins us now with more. Stephen.
Hudson, the family says it's been a tough 10 days since their parents were found dead, made even tougher by public attention and inaccurate theories about the circumstances surrounding their death. Pictures of a loving couple, their lives cut all too short, are surrounded by messages of sympathy and support. They sit on the piano at their daughter's home. It's the backdrop for an exclusive interview with the family, the first since their parents died.
This is a complete shock and a complete departure from what we knew about Kathy and Erich, and it's something that we'll never come to terms with.
The bodies of Erich and Kathy Mueller were found in their waterfront Cadboro Bay home last Tuesday. Investigators ruled the deaths were a murder-suicide, but at the request of the family, police have declined to reveal who was the victim and who was the perpetrator. It's
our belief, really, that there's two victims, that Kathy and Erich were a victim of mental illness and depression, and it cost us a tremendous tragedy in our family.
It's why the family is speaking out, hoping that by talking openly about mental illness, it will encourage other families to get immediate help so they will not have to experience the same tragedy.
The issue of depression presented itself first about 3 years ago. Erich and Kathy worked very hard with the medical profession and with family to resolve the issue. After a period of very tough times, the issue was resolved. It became stable. There was very little hint of any sort of depression or mental illness in the intervening time until just recently, and that's when the issue seemed to be reappearing.
The family says it's why the death of the Muellers came as a complete shock. Since then, the family says it's been tough to read and listen to theories about the deaths, including this was a case of domestic violence.
They were the most nonviolent people that I've ever met, and I think that the kids, the grandchildren's, that's the legacy they're going to take from them. And this was a moment in time, and we'll never be able to explain that moment in time.
The deaths are being investigated by the BC Coroner's Service. When and if the coroner provides more information, perhaps the family will talk more about the tragedy. Until then,
we have said what we want to say to the media. We would ask now that our family is left alone to grieve in our own way and deal with these issues in our own way.
The family says they still don't have all the answers as to how Erich and Kathy Mueller died, and they have deliberately stayed away from the disturbing details surrounding the deaths.
What matters is not how they died, but how they lived their life, and that's what we're going to remember, because there's many decades of what we want to remember and only a single moment of what we want to forget.
A moment they know will be shared and talked about with their children and those close to them for many years to come. Now, 3 years ago, the family asked Erich and Linda Mueller how they would like to be remembered. The couple said in part that they would like to be remembered as advocates for the weak, the underprivileged, the poor, and the voiceless. By speaking out, the family wants that to be part of the legacy, Hudson. They're asking anyone feeling depressed or anxious to find someone to talk to. They say even if it doesn't seem like it, it will help. They say the people who love you will know what you're feeling. Hudson?
Stephen Andrew. Stephen, thanks.
You're welcome.